The ability to use technology can help instructors manage time more efficiently, especially when reviewing and commenting on written student work. This video will demonstrate how to use the macro feature in Word to automate the most frequently used comments to create a customized user interface that will not only save instructors time, but offer the opportunity to increase the quantity and quality of feedback. The first step is to actually prepare your information to be used for auto text entries that will be then used to create macros. Create a Word document that lists all of your comments. As you see here, there is a list of 7 general comments. Yours might be much longer. This is just an example. There is no limit on the length of each of your comments. So once that is complete, you would highlight your first comment, click the Insert button, go to Quick Parts, and select Auto Text. When you select Auto Text, you will see at the bottom there is a Save Selection to Auto Text Gallery because we want to save this to the gallery. In this case, I'm going to call this Intro Needed. I'm going to give it just a short name. If you want, you can give it a description, so in the future, if you go back to it and it's not clear, you'll have that description, but just click OK, and you have now saved that comment as a quick part. So you can see now, here we go, an introduction section is needed to begin the paper. So let's go ahead and just do one more. Let's say incorrect APA heading format. Click Insert, Quick Parts, Auto Text. We want to save it to the Auto Text Gallery. And we can say APA heading incorrect and click OK. And as you will see now, if we go back to Quick Parts, there's the incorrect APA heading format, and there is the introduction section is needed to begin the paper. So once you do that for all of your comments, you will be ready then to prepare the interface with your buttons. The first step for that is to create a new tab here where my cursor is pointing. We will create a tab by clicking on File and go to Options. We are going to do what is called customizing the ribbon. So when we click on Customize the ribbon, it is going to bring up a set of ribbon choices, and what we want to do here off to the right is here where it says New Tab. Click on New Tab, and if you see here, a new tab has been added. Now since this is a custom tab, we certainly will want to rename it. So in this case, let's just call this Feedback. That will be the display name on the ribbon. When we click OK, I have a name Feedback. Now each group within the Feedback tab could potentially be a separate class. For different classes you might have different types of comments. But in this example, let's just do one. I will rename that, and I will call this, let's say, English 101. You also have the option here to assign an icon to your class if that's important. If that's not important, then click OK. And now we have a tab called Feedback and a subtab for One Class English 101. So now we are ready to click the OK button, and you can see now up on the ribbon we have a new tab we just created called Feedback. And if I click on that, we have our subtab here called ENG 101. That is our placeholder now that we are going to store our macro buttons. So we are now ready to begin creating our macros. To record a macro, we start by clicking View and click the button Macros on the ribbon. Select Record Macro, and we will give the macro a name. In this case, we will call it Intro Needed. The macro can be any name you want, and then you can assign the macro to either a button or a keyboard shortcut. In this case, we want to assign it to a button. So when I click Button, we need to click on Customize Ribbon, because that button is going to be on the ribbon under the tab Feedback. And we created a placeholder for a class called English 101. Select Macros over here on the left hand side where we choose Commands, and let's highlight our macro name Intro Needed, and let's add that to the English class. You can click on Rename because this name is rather long, and all we really need to name the button is something like Intro Needed. You can also assign a symbol to your macro. In this case, I'll just select one color, select OK, and you'll see here now Intro Needed has this colored symbol. I will click OK, and now the macro begins to record. How you can tell that the macro is recording is because you can see what looks like a VCR tape or a cassette tape. So we are recording. A macro is not time-based. A macro is recording just your keystrokes. So you can go as slowly as you need to make sure that you get it right. In this case, what we want to do first is we want to insert a place for a comment. So we click on Review, New Comment, and there we go. The comment balloon has been inserted, so the macro recorded that keystroke. The next thing we need to do is to insert the actual comment that goes with Intro Needed. We will click on Insert, Quick Parts. We created an auto text. Click on the introduction section is needed to begin the paper, and there we have a comment inserted with the auto text. But we are not quite done yet. We need one more set of keystrokes, because Word by default, when you create the macro and insert the comment, it opens up what is called a reviewing pane. So when we click on Review, Reviewing pane, you will see that a review pane opens. Sometimes that is a little bit annoying for instructors because they don't want that open. So once we click and open it, we will click on it and toggle it off by clicking on it again. and that closes the reviewing pane. Why that's important is because when you use your macro buttons on the feedback ribbon, it will insert the comment and not open the review pane, because we recorded a keystroke to close the reviewing pane. That's the last keystroke that was recorded for this macro. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is when you are finished recording your keystrokes, you need to go back to the View tab, Macros, and tell the macro to stop recording. And that's all there is to recording your macro. So let's go now and quickly test the macro. I will place the cursor at the beginning of this second paragraph. Click on Feedback, Intro Needed, and there we go. The comment was automatically inserted. So let's go ahead now and just do one more, just to make sure we understand. We'll create one more macro. I'll click on View, Macros, View, Macros, Record Macro. This one we'll call APA heading IC for incorrect. We'll assign this to a button. We want to customize the ribbon. We want to find the macro name here, and we want to move that over so it is part of the English class. Then I want to move down and rename this. And for APA heading, I will give it just a different color. I will click OK. Notice I am recording now because I see the tape. And now I need to record my keystrokes. Insert the comment balloon. Then insert the quick part that goes with that. Open, then close the reviewing pane, and then the ever important stop recording, please. And now I'll just move the cursor somewhere in the text, and we'll test our button, and there we go. The button works. So we've created two macros, two buttons that are associated with those macros, and you just continue on creating as many different macros for as many comments as you want an automated button for on your ribbon. Before we conclude this video, I would like to address two common questions. The first involves the ability to add additional comments or ad hoc comments while you use your predefined comments. All you have to do to add additional comments is to click inside the comment balloon and continue typing. So your predefined comments in no way limits you to just those comments. Secondly, while inserting comments, you click on the tab, you click on the button, and if you will notice, by default the ribbon always closes. To keep that ribbon open, which is probably something you'll want to do because you will be adding multiple comments, open the tab, put the cursor somewhere in the ribbon, right click, and click on minimize the ribbon. You will see that that is checked. That is a toggle. Once you check on that, every time you use a button, the tab will remain open. I hope you have found this video useful in that it will enable a method for you to create comments more effectively and of higher value to your students. Good luck.